Dude, they scare the hell out of me. It's Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
You don't have a body.
Welcome back to X-Play, the show that isn't afraid of the supernatural.
Sure, we've been accused of being godless heathens, and one fan even suggested my mother was a lemur. But nothing can prepare you for the supernatural journey Morgan recently undertook.
To get a first look at the survival horror game Fatal Frame 3, I had to come face to face with the paranormal. And the paranormal is not very attractive. To celebrate the release of Fatal Frame 3, The Tormented, Tecmo sent us to the Winchester Mystery House in San Jose, California, to experience a little horror of our own. Sarah Winchester was the widow of rifle maker William Winchester. Using her $20 million inheritance, she constructed a sprawling, haphazardly planned mansion because a psychic told her it was the only way to appease the spirits of those killed by her late husband's rifles.
I heard this house was haunted.
Rumors are just rumors.
In Fatal Frame 3, spirits are trying to kill Rei Kurosawa, regardless of her architectural aspirations. Rei's a photographer, and after seeing her late fiancé pop up in one of her recent photos, she begins having strange dreams of a haunted mansion and sleeping with no covers. Meanwhile, back at the Mystery House, Tecmo has arranged for a real-life seance with a real-life psychic to whip up a real dead ghost.
I walk through the house.
Apparently, ghosts talk kind of slowly. The ghost claims to be the former caretaker of the Winchester mansion, a guy named Clyde. Conveniently, there's no record of any such person existing, but some people claim that Clyde is this guy driving the buggy. And by some people, I mean the Winchester Mystery House gift shop. After the ghost departs, it's time for questions.
Where was he in this room?
Where was he? He was around here, around me, and then he'd come in me and go out of me. Did you feel any coldness at all?
I felt almost like a hand kind of thing.
Not grabbing, but yeah, brushing.
Brushing.
Yeah.
Sort of like all around.
All
my
around
neck
you.
area.
Yeah, he was moving around the table.
Wait, she just said the ghost was behind her.
Why does it get cold? Because it's their energy. The energy is cold.
Wear a pen and teller when you need them. Look, it's not like anyone was taking this whole seance thing that seriously, but this stuff can really mess people up if it's targeted at vulnerable and gullible folks who aren't thinking rationally. I mean, did we really prove the existence of the afterlife at a video game industry event? Of course not. And everybody played along and everybody had a great old time, but nothing really happened that somebody with a library card and you know, a stage degree couldn't have whipped up by themselves. Just remember, when it comes to the supernatural, you need to keep your wits about you. Not because some ethereal monster you might encounter, but just in case someone tries to convince you a ghost wants you to build a new deck or something like that. You might save a lot on the construction costs in the end. You right there, Sessler? Judging by Fatal Frame 3, ghosts don't have an obsession with architecture so much as an aversion to photography. Using the mystical camera obscura, you can dispel your spiritual assailants by snapping pictures of them. Not your best side, lady. Rei wakes up from these visions with a steadily expanding tattoo, so she figures it's probably a good idea to get to the bottom of her increasingly realistic dreams. With her assistant Miku, the heroine of the first Fatal Frame, she journeys to assorted haunted locales in search of answers. On our flashlight tour, we learn that the Winchester Mystery House lives up to its reputation of weird. Bizarre and totally inefficient twisting staircases and the occasional secret passage make it clear that Mrs. Winchester was rarely in a hurry to get anywhere. Our patient and knowledgeable guide was ready with an answer for all of our most incisive questions. So the real ghost stuff, that's still up in the air, but at least we know Fatal Frame is really scary.
Where did he go?
Look, the lights are moving. It must be a really bored ghost.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to bring you the review when Fatal Frame 3 comes out in November of 2005, this year.
Yeah, and were you totally possessed by the devil during that Penn and Teller segment?
Yes.
You were? Then can I start calling you Emily Rose?
No.
No what, Emily?
No, I said no.
Emily.
No. If you like The Grudge or The Ring, then perhaps our review of Fatal Frame 3 is for you. When we sleep, what happens? Do we dream? Do we dare to dream? You know what happens when you dream, don't you? Fatal Frame 3 has unleashed its evil on the world. Amateur photographers, you've been warned. Again. Now stop following me home, you damn paparazzi scum. Sorry, this game just freaks me out. In a scary way, not a Dean Moriarty way. See this lady? That's Ray. All she wants is a simple life. A life of taking pictures in rotting buildings. Like a younger version of Ed Asner, with less back hair. That doesn't make sense. But if this crazy world we lived in made any sense, this wouldn't be the third game in the series, would it? Ray sees her boyfriend, who she may or may not have accidentally or intentionally killed in a car accident a few months previous. But how can she see him? He's dead. To quote the Bruce Willis classic, The Whole 10 Yards, she sees dead people. But only in her dreams. Or is the dream the reality and the reality the dream? Wrap your head around that one for a second. You've seen this type of horror game before. Door opening after door opening after door opening after door opening. Eerie whispering in the background. And time-filling little puzzles like unlocking doors, which leads to more door opening. But what you haven't seen before, unless you played the two previous games, then you have seen it before, is the power of the camera. In Ray's dreams, she finds the camera obscura, a very special camera that allows her to blast away those ghosts. However, if you shake it like a Polaroid picture, these ghostly Beyoncés or Lucy Lou's will come at you from anywhere or any place. Even though we've seen it before, it's still spooky. Now, unlike me during the holidays, Ray isn't alone in her adventures. Should I bring up Ray's unhealthy obsession towards her roommate/assistant/housekeeper/sexy young thing, Miku? Miku was the star of the first Fatal Frame game. Coincidence? Probably. Miku also finds herself in the dream world Ray has been visiting. Two people under the same roof sharing the same dreams? Sounds like X-Play. There's also Ray's dead boyfriend's friend, Kai, who has been investigating an urban myth that parallels what Ray's been going through in her dreams.
In my dream, I saw my mother.
Mystery upon picture taking. Should I bring up the occasional grammar or spelling errors in the game? Not if I want to sound sleep, I won't. So hush, little gamers, don't say a word. And never mind that noise you heard. It's just the ghost under your bed, in your hallway, or in your head. Even though Fatal Frame 3 is still scary, it's too similar to the first two games. So for that, we give Fatal Frame 3 Dr. Venkmans out of 5.
You know, all those ghosts need is a little rouge and lipstick. It'll really brighten them up. They look like that chick from Memoirs of a Geisha.
You know, no one's going to see that movie.
No, probably not.
Hey, and now some of you watched the review of this game and thought, that looks scary and atmospheric, and there are chicks in it that might even make out with each other. How can I get a copy?
Well, take our advice and rent it at Gamefly.com.
Gamefly has hundreds of games you can rent or buy, so you can save your money for important things like a Roth IRA, or health insurance, or pornography.
Like this video! Oh, that's good.